Smell like you could use a shower, Stinky.
Welcome back to Banging the Can, the Houston sports show that does not apologize for championship rings and tings, presented by Bolen Media, with new episodes dropping every Monday and Friday. I am Ross Bolen, and I hope you brought your clinical strength antiperspirant because sweaty September has officially arrived. Quickly, if you are watching on youtube.com/@bangingthecan, crush that subscribe button, throw us a like on this video, hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time we drop a new episode, and when a comment occurs to you over the course of today's show, throw it in the comment section below. Thank you for your service. Can bangers, your Houston Astros spent the long holiday weekend splitting a 4-game series with the last place Los Angeles Angels, which, as pathetic as it sounds, was somehow still enough to extend their division lead over the Seattle Mariners to 3 games. Some huge developments from this series against the Angels, though. First, on Game 1, Friday night, Christian Javier went 6 innings without giving up a single hit or run, walking 3, striking out 6 over the course of 85 pitches. Javier obviously still ramping up to full service after being out for 14 months due to Tommy John surgery. He's still on a pitch count, so Espada brought in De Los Santos, Craig Kimbrell, and Caleb Ort to close things out. The Astros scored their 2 runs with a Carlos Correa RBI to center in the bottom of the 7th and a Yordan Alvarez sac fly in the bottom of the 8th. All in all, a fairly boring game and start to this series. But Christian Javier, looking like he's finally getting comfortable out there in what was his 4th start since returning from the IL, was enormous to see. The Astros, no doubt, have offensive adjustments to make over the course of sweaty September, trademark copyright, if they intend on making another deep postseason run. But seeing more depth on the pitcher's mound is also absolutely necessary. And on a personal level, I found seeing 2022 Christian Javier out there inarguably arousing. On Saturday, Game 2, Spencer Arrighetti also got into a comfortable rhythm on the bump. 19 outs worth of service, 1 hit, 1 earned run off a Zach Neto homer. Zach Neto, extremely punchable face. Zach Neto, definitely a dude you want to fight if he's not on your team. Fuck Zach Neto. But this was Spencer Arrighetti's best performance since returning from the IL as well. So we go into the top of the 9th with the game tied 1-1. Brian Abreu on the mound, feeling good if you are an Astros fan, right? Abreu strikes out Joe Adell to start the inning, and I'm relaxing on my couch like, oh, yeah, we got this. We'll walk this shit off, no problem. Then Brian Abreu gives up not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 consecutive singles. Suddenly we're down 3-1. Then Abreu strikes out Zach Neto. Fuck Zach Neto. Then Brian Abreu walks Yohan Moncada. Then he walks Mike Trout, which scores another run. We're down 4-1. And Brian Abreu blew this game. Very sad. Very unfair. In the bottom of the 9th, we had Jesus Sanchez walk, Christian Walker fly out, Yanier Diaz pop up, Cam Smith fly out, game over, everybody go home sad. Total waste of Spencer Arrighetti's great start because our offense is disturbingly inconsistent, but great to see Spencer looking more like himself. Fuck it. We move on to the next game. Sunday, Game 3. We wasted another solid Hunter Brown start where he went 6 innings, giving up only 1 earned run. The Astros achieved just 2 hits in this game. Did not score a single run. I don't even think we saw a runner advance to third base. I believe this was the 5th time we were shut out in the month of August. Ugly, disgusting stuff. We are 3 games into this series. We have lost 2 of those games. We have scored 3 total runs, and I am so bored and sad, but mostly bored. Labor Day rolls around. Monday, Game 4, the first game of sweaty September, copyright, trademark, and I'm like, fucking just kill me, just make it end. But finally, the offense decides to show up in this series. Ramon Urias, ding dong. Jose Altuve double drives in Jeremy Pena. Ramon Urias single drives in Yanier Diaz. Correa drives in Yordan with a single. Pena doubles and drives in Cam Smith. Yordan singles to score Cam Smith again. And we close things out with a Jose Altuve ding dong driving in Jacob Melton. Now, I know what you're asking. Ross, why couldn't we do something even close to resembling this level of offensive production during the other 3 games in the series? And listen closely. Listen up. Because I'm about to give you my answer. I have no fucking idea. The biggest takeaway from this final game against the Angels is that Luis Garcia is back. He went 6 innings where he looked incredibly impressive, minus 2 ding-dongs he gave up in the 4th. 79 pitches, 6 strikeouts. Great to see Luis back out there. He looked a lot better than Arrighetti and Javier did in their first starts back from the IL, comparatively. So hopefully he follows the same trajectory as they have and only continues to improve from here. But yeah, I genuinely, for the life of me, cannot tell what this team's deal is offensively. I can't tell if it's strategic, like plate approach that's causing issues, if it's refusing to get up and lock in against bad teams, if they're genuinely bored out there and don't altogether care that much because it's just the regular season. I don't fucking know. I do know I literally haven't the slightest clue who to blame for the glaring and painfully frustrating lack of offense and consistency at the plate over the summer. It sucks balls. I can tell you this, though. I sympathize with Astros fans who are throwing the hitting coaches under the bus. You gotta blame somebody. The sinking depression you feel after every wasted quality start has to be someone's fault, right? But seriously, it is hilarious to pretend that Major League Baseball players, the majority of which are veterans like Jose Altuve and Carlos Correa and Yordan Alvarez and Christian Walker and Mauricio Dubon, with many, many years of big league experience under their belts, are completely dependent on hitting coaches to perform at the plate. That is an unserious notion. And again, I get it. I understand looking for someone to blame. But do you really think somebody like Jose Altuve just needed a hitting coach to remind him that working the count and staying patient and showing some kind of discipline during his at-bats is probably a good idea, and that's the reason he was dog shit all of August? This is just baseball, fam. This is just baseball. And this Astros team has been good enough for enough years in a row where there is no excuse for anyone in our fan base that is actually a serious fan, that's not just a bandwagoner or somebody that waits and tunes in here and there, dependent on the series, or doesn't pay real attention until, late September into October, to not get that this is just the way the game of baseball goes. Find me a team in the league, in the American League or the National League, in all of MLB in 2025 that has not gone through a long stretch with serious struggles offensively. Find me one. Dodgers have done it. Yankees have done it. Red Sox have done it. Tigers have done it. Mariners have certainly done it. Everybody, every good team has gone through a stretch where they just can't find their rhythm at the plate. And that's just the game of baseball. It's not even necessarily dependent on facing good pitching. It just happens. You go cold at the plate. You go through stretches where runs are difficult to come by. You go through stretches like the Astros have for 2 freaking months where having runners in scoring position doesn't really seem to mean a whole hell of a lot because they're not driving anybody in. But to go around and act like it's the fucking hitting coaches, that the hitting coaches are to blame for these guys not hitting the baseball, dude, they've been crushing baseballs since most of them were like 8 years old. Okay? These are grown men getting paid millions of dollars in most cases to play a game and hit a little white ball laced with red. So it ain't on the hitting coaches, okay? Yes, there are certainly some ways this team seems they could button things up at the plate, especially when it comes to what I've been talking about for weeks now, like working the pitch count, making the pitcher earn it, not getting too antsy and going after the first pitch every time or chasing shit out of the zone. But again, these are all things you learn in fucking middle school, definitely by high school, like pretending that they need hitting coaches to explain to them how baseball works is just crazy. Like, it's just the way, it's a bizarre sport. More unpredictable and uncanny, sure, than any of the other professional sports, okay? It's just the way it goes. So stop pointing the fingers at people who probably don't have anything to do with it. Honestly, we're at the point where I'm like, this is the same way I feel about the medical staff stuff. You think this billion-dollar franchise doesn't have competent people on the medical staff? They do. They've just had really bad luck, and the way that they handle things as a franchise with the media as far as reporting on injuries goes makes it really frustrating for fans. But it's not that we just have a completely incompetent medical staff that's causing all of our players to get hurt constantly. It's a combination of bad luck and the approach that the front office has chosen as far as handling the media when it comes to injuries and reporting on them. So I sympathize with you people who are like, oh, the hitting coaches, it's the hitting coaches. We got to get better hitting coaches. Fire the hitting coaches. But come on. It's not the fucking hitting coaches that are causing these guys to go out and put up a goose egg against the fucking Angels. It's the team. It's on them. It's on each individual player every single time they step into the batter's box to take a professional approach. That's who it falls on. If you want to blame somebody and get angry at somebody, it should probably be the players. But we know you're not going to do that because we love them too much, so you're looking for a scapegoat. And again, I sympathize, I understand, but stop it. Stop it. Anyway, the Astros win the final game 8-3. Split the 4-gamer with the Angels and start Sweaty September trademark copyright on the right foot with a win in which they scored 8 runs, which was certainly a breath of fresh air for all of us who watched all 4 games. According to Brian McTaggart, the Astros played 12 home games in August and averaged 2.4 runs. 2.4 runs in 12 games at home in the month of August. They played 16 road games in the same frame, August, and averaged 4.4 runs. They were 6-6 at home and 7-9 on the road. So what does all of that mean? What does that tell us? August was ass, and the Astros offense is going to need to get its shit together if they want to have any chance of advancing in October. But you know that already. Everybody knows that. Every team in baseball is saying, I hope our offense gets hot middle toward the end of September going into October. That's just the sport. But yeah, the summer has kind of sucked. It has not been what we expected, especially after we got so hot and were able to build our record up to over 20 games over 500 with a bunch of fucking minor league dudes from the Space City Cowboys holding it down. We all thought when we started to get healthy in July and especially into August, that it would be significantly easier and that the offense would be more explosive. And we've seen it in stretches like we did on Monday, but we haven't seen it consistently, and that's made it frustrating for us as fans, no doubt. I'm pretty sure Michael Schwab tweeted that during the first 7 games of this homestand, the Astros scored 12 runs on a combined .217 batting average or some shit, while opponents scored 16 runs on a combined .168 average. So the sort of seesaw season continues where we desperately needed pitching. Now we seemingly have pitching, but no offense. Now we desperately need offense. Can this team please get the offense and the defense going at the same time for the love of God? And just to be crystal clear, this team has been one of the worst in all of baseball in terms of offensive production since mid-July. But they haven't been great offensively consistently all season. I'm talking bottom third in all the statistical categories that count. And yet, somehow, we are leading our division by 3 games. And we are 4 games back of the 1 seed in the American League. Does that make sense? Absolutely not. But this is why baseball is a sport for crazy people. So now, with just 24 games left in the season, the Astros close out their 10-game homestand with a 3-game series against the New York Yankees. Framber Valdez versus Max Fried tonight. Jason Alexander starting tomorrow. Summer of George. Christian Javier versus Carlos Rodon on Thursday. Big series, obviously, goes without saying. The Mariners cooled off a bit. They've won 5 of their last 10, but the Arlington Rangers have won 9 of their last 10 and are now just 4.5 games back of the Astros in first place in the AL West. After our 3-game home series against the Yankees, the Astros begin a 9-game road trip with the first 3 in Arlington. Hashtag Sweaty September Trademark copyright. Again, if you are watching on youtube.com/@bangingthecan, quickly crush that subscribe button, throw us a like on this video, throw me a comment in the comments section, give me a take on what you saw in the Angels series, something you disagree with that I have said here today, something you agree with that I've said here today would be even better. Hit the comment section below, hit the notification button so you get notified every time we drop a new video. Tell your friends and family about our show. Thank you for your service, Can Bangers. Again, remember, it's important for me to say it. If you don't do the things I just mentioned, the show will cease to exist. I like doing the show. I think you like the show. I would like the show to go on. Subscribe, rate, review. If you're on Apple Podcasts, if you're on Spotify, give us a 5-star rating. If you're watching on YouTube, do all the things. Do all the things. Shit is about to get real. Very real. 24 games left. We're in it. Sweaty September. Have to feel good about where we are at in terms of pitching rotation with Hunter Brown, Framber Valdez, Jason Alexander, Christian Javier, and Luis Garcia, and Spencer Arrighetti. Not sure what to make of the allegedly short-term move of Lance McCullers Jr. to the bullpen, but we will see how that plays out longer term. We've only seen it once so far. It wasn't really enough for me to judge it one way or the other, frankly. And again, it was just kind of a bizarre series against the Angels. But as far as pitching goes, starting pitching, we have a plethora, an abundance of starting pitching. Arguably more starting pitching than certainly anyone in the American League in terms of quality arms. Like we're 4 or 5 guys deep that you can really trust to go 5-6 innings without surrendering more than 1 or 2 runs at worst. That's very, very good. We're going to need that going into the postseason. That's nice. We need that. Clearly, offense now, as of late, is the thing we're more focused on in terms of turning it around. Like, we need to see more run production, especially the plate approach with runners in scoring position. You hope that it will get to be something you can actually appreciate rather than just be infuriated by as we watch the days of September tick away on the calendar. Yordan Alvarez, I would note, in terms of offense, has looked every bit himself since returning. I was completely shocked that I think he walked his first 2 at-bats on 8 pitches. That's just his first 2 at-bats in, what is he out since April? Like, I can't do math, but that's months, many months, more than 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, who can say? But that's how much respect pitchers have for this guy. That's how good he is. And you've seen why in the at-bats where guys finally decided to try and work against him, actually give him stuff that he could hit. He's looked very, very good. His plate approach is fantastic. I've named guys in the past on episodes that I think also have a really good plate approach consistently. I'm talking Carlos Correa as a really good example, Jeremy Pena as another one, Yordan now, obviously. There are guys that almost never seem to have a cohesive plate approach, like Jose Altuve, like Yonir Diaz, like Chas McCormick, like Christian Walker in long stretches of the season, big stretches of the season. I've been confused by what he's doing up there. I'm hoping that everybody can kind of get on the same page in the coming month because it's going to be really hard to win come October. And it's going to be really tough to watch as fans if we're getting these quality starts out of guys like Framber, Hunter, Spencer, Christian, Luis, etc., Jason Alexander, where, we're down fucking 1 or 2 to nothing in the 6th inning and that we just never are able to put it together offensively. Losing games like that sucks. It's not a fun way to watch if you're a fan. So, yeah, I'd like to see Altuve stay awake this month. That was a fucking brutal August for Jose. Great start to September. Great start. Harness it. Feel the flow. Carry that shit in to the rest of the month, please. Jose Altuve. Need Jose Altuve to get hot and stay hot. Doesn't even have to be hot. Just fucking lukewarm will do. Ramon Urias. Great series against the Angels, especially defensively. Much better offensively as well. Hit another ding-dong. Had another RBI. Has looked comfortable at the plate. Looks like he's getting. He seems to like being at Daikin Park, Ramon Urias, which was the hope when they picked him up. God, the dude's good at second base. this is another element of our team that is really fucking impressive to me. Defensively, you're going to be hard-pressed to find a better baseball team than the Astros right now. I mean, like we've talked all season about how many gold glovers we have, but like if you put the defense set up as Carlos Correa at third, Jeremy Pena at short, Ramon Urias at second, and Christian Walker at first, it is going to be really difficult to get anything by these guys. That is a lot of gold gloves. That is a lot of defensive talent, like crazy impressive defensive talent that they have built. And if Ramon Urias can start to hit the baseball consistently, we're going to have like 3 too many infielders next season, which will be a great problem to have when we get to that point. We'll worry about it later, obviously. But the difference between, like, no disrespect, Jose Altuve at second base versus Ramon Urias at second base is night and day. Urias is covering like an additional 10 feet in any direction other than up. But even up, he's got a much better vertical than Altuve does. Defensively, and especially we get Jake Myers back. If Jake can rake, that'll help the offense. I mean, you're looking at this team on paper. I am, anyway. And it's tough not to get overly excited for me, despite what has been a grueling into the summer. There's just so much talent. The defense is so stacked. The offense should be so stacked if they can get everybody on the same page. Like I talked about last week, it's like that's a gauntlet for pitchers to go through. But in order for it to really matter, baseball is so mental. You need your offense clicking so that pitchers aren't coming in thinking these guys, they look scary on paper, but they're all gettable. They can all be got. You want pitchers to come in and look at the lineup and be like, Jesus Christ, and have to sweat out every at-bat. A lot of the summer we spent giving pitchers these gifts where it's like 1, 2 pitch, 3 pitch ABs where I'm like, dog, why? Fucking make them earn it, dude. To go back to the positive side, so much talent on this. You can see what Dana Brown has been cooking now. And this is without, Isaac Paredes, who was, with Yordan Alvarez out, our most consistent offensive producer. And we can get him back, we'll see what happens with Paredes and Josh Hader. Hopefully we'll get more information on them in the next couple weeks as far as like the odds of a return at some point in late September or maybe early October. We just have to wait and see. But you can see what Dana Brown has been cooking here because on paper and when you look at the defense and you look at the pitching and the way it's coming together now, like the Astros are stacked. There is no arguing against that. It's literally just going to be a matter of, like, can they get it all together? Can they put all the pieces together? Can they turn it on when it counts the most down the stretch in September into the postseason in October? Can they fend off the Mariners and the Rangers, at the very least, to win the division? Is there a chance that they can get really hot here in September and overtake the 2 seed in the American League? It's possible. That's the dream. That's the goal. Because you don't want to be in a position where you have to play a 3-game wildcard series to start the postseason, because that's like flipping a fucking coin. Especially if Framber Valdez is our number 2 starter, which he's probably going to be, and you don't know what you're going to get from Framber necessarily. We've seen that play out before. But the pitching is stacked. The defense is stacked. The batting lineup is stacked and should get more stacked when Jake Myers comes back, but we need everybody on the same page as far as approach and strategy. And again, I would stress, that is on the players, not the hitting coaches, to put it all together. These guys have the talent. We know it. We've seen it. In stretches, we've seen it. And we saw it again on Monday. It's just going to be a matter of being able to produce consistently and turning it on and getting as locked the fuck in as you possibly can when it matters most. Craig Kimbrell, solid in the pen. Obviously, we need to see Abreu get more comfortable as the closer. That was tough to watch him blow that lead, blow that game. That was rough. That was rough. But we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot. I feel really good. I am stressed. I am sweating already. Sweaty September is legitimately a thing that we are all going to have to endure. As fans, we also have to lock in because this is going to be a stressful fucking month. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a stressful month. And I would also stress that we are lucky to feel this way. That relevancy is still a thing, that we continue to watch a very competent front office put together a very competitive baseball team season after season after season. We are very, very blessed. And so try to enjoy it as much as you possibly can while you hopefully have on clinical strength antiperspirant because we're all sweating our balls off. That'll do it for today's show. Remember, we have new episodes dropping every Monday and Friday on youtube.com/@bangingthecan and on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. every week. This week is obviously different due to Labor Day being on Monday. Please share the most unapologetic Houston sports show in existence with your friends and family. Things are only going to get more fun here on Banging the Can as the Texans kick off their NFL season this upcoming Sunday against the Los Angeles Rams. Very, very pumped to talk Texans next week and the results of that game. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Huge Texans fan. Absolutely love D'Amico Ryans. Very excited to see what year 3 of this new era in Texans football holds. But in order for me to be able to continue doing this show and make sure that I'm able to do it again next year and into Rocket season and all that, I do need you to share the show with those you know, with your friends and your family who are Houston sports fans. Be like, hey, I've got this Banging the Can guy, Ross. He's fun. He's a nut. He loves Houston sports as much as we do. You should watch his show on youtube.com/@bangingthecan or listen on Apple Podcasts or listen or watch on Spotify. You can watch on Spotify now, I would note. If you're a Spotify listener, you may have noticed. You can also watch the full video of our show on Spotify now. Producer Kade does a bang-up job for us, no pun intended. As far as the visuals go for our show, we've got a nice studio. We've got a good little rundown on the side of the screen where he puts up what we're talking about every week, every episode. And puts up pictures and shit as we go through our show every week. It's good fun. Shout out to producer Kade. Tell your people, tell your friends and family. Follow us on social media at Banging the Can on TikTok, on Instagram, on Threads, on Twitter. I usually live tweet to some extent during games on at Banging the Can on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. So follow us on social media as well. I am Ross Bolen. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at WRBolen. I will not be back until Monday. Short week, and my producer is out Friday, so I'll be back Monday to discuss the results of the Astros-Yankees series and the Astros-Rangers series. 2 very important series in a row here. Prepare yourself mentally and emotionally. I'm doing my best too. It's honestly not going well so far, but I'm trying. Today's show helped some. I hope it helped for you too. Until next time, H-Town, stay down.